Hi Ryan, I thought I'd give you a little video response to your question earlier today, and you wanted to have some help because you had had some comments made about your picture of your son, and you were trying to get some help, but some of the things were making it a little confusing. And so over here in your comment you said, can you please help me with my drawing? I've had some comments about the missing twinkle in the eye, and that goes with a big smile. I agree with them, but following their advice is making the eyes more lighter and making the pupil more emphasized, and I think he doesn't look like my son anymore. So I wondered if you can help me. And so I thought maybe I might come from a little different direction. This is one of the reasons why I like to construct my eye in a certain way. And one of the things that I might avoid is that I would go to, I wouldn't go to black so quickly. I like to build up my values so that I always have control as to how dark something's going to be. And you'll notice that in your picture you have, in this one here, you have the eyelashes and the iris and the pupil all the same. Now, they might be very much the same, but I would still probably try to show that the pupil is a little darker. I would probably still like to show that the eye is going underneath the eyelid and the eyelashes so that we have a little separation and it doesn't just become all one form. Other than that, I think that what I would probably do is to make a highlight that is over to one side, not in the center, and I would put them both on the same side. I would not get distracted, especially right now. It's rare that you ever have to get complicated with a bunch of highlights, and often it's the case that in a photograph you'll see more than one, and it just, I don't think it's necessary until you really get experience and understand what's going to distract and what's going to actually help you. And so I wouldn't get involved with that second one, but I would make sure that the highlights are both in the same place on each eye and that it's away from the pupil, because if you put it in the center, it, in my estimation, actually just almost kills the intensity. It takes away a lot of that, and that's what you'll have happen when you're taking a picture with a flash often. So another thing is that it can be brighter than you might expect because a highlight can be reflecting something from quite a distance away. It doesn't necessarily have to be there because of the light source. It could even be under the bill of a hat, let's say, and in complete shade and still have quite a sparkle there. And if it does get a little bright and you feel like it's a little dominant later, you can always tone it down a little bit. And so one of the other things that I would do to make it even more effective is that I would go ahead and make sure that I don't have too many competing highlights. So let me go ahead and get into Photoshop here with my brush, and I want to show you what can happen if you just take some of these highlights and tone them down. This is really going to help, I think, show that it's underneath the the scarf or the hat, whatever you have going on. You have more of an opportunity to bring focus to the high point of a contour, like the center of his cheeks, because otherwise you have things like this that are just as bright as it would be in the center. If you look on your photograph here, you'll see that there is a main highlight just like you have on your sphere. So it's always a great exercise, to go back to and to practice working towards the light, getting lighter and lighter and lighter, always facing it as you put your strokes in. You can go ahead and then turn your picture around and pull towards the center again from all directions. And so you always have the opportunity to show that high point, that high light, and also show the necessary contrast to give you a real contour. So there are opportunities for you to be able to get a little more in the cheeks. It brings a little more dimension and contour to the cheek, and a little more of a happier look. And if you look at your light source and always establish that, you'll be able to see that maybe on this side of the nose the highlights wouldn't be that bright. Underneath the nose, it wouldn't be that bright. In the eyes, in these places, it wouldn't be that bright. And this helps you bring, again, a great focus to the parts that you do want to bring focus to, and doesn't become, again, a huge distraction. So you can contour a lot of things. You can bring something in that, again, gives you a central highlight in the cheek on that other side, the side of the face over here, so that you have a central part of the chin. You can again bring contour because everything goes around. The lips aren't that bright in the entire part. You can centralize that little highlight there. You can contour the teeth back into the mouth so that the front ones are a little brighter, and it gives that round structure to the dental arch. And there's just always an opportunity for you to tone down some things to bring focus to the part that you really need to show to have complete contour. So you'll see I'm coming in here and I'm allowing these places to still be highlights, but they don't have to be as bright as maybe what you had. And I think this in this portrait is going to really help you, and you might see things quite a bit different, and it'll also change some of the look of his face. Let me go ahead and make this brush just a tiny bit smaller here so I can come here and just do a little bit in here. See, like in the corner of his mouth here, there's quite a bit darker. So if you're establishing that and you have a good idea what your light source is and what's going into the shadow, everything will always be getting darker. I don't want to have this part right here as bright as I might on the end of the nose, or a shiny part on the lip, or even the tooth, and so I might cast a little bit of value. You can do that with your 4H and really, again, control the use of your values. Have a better range and have an opportunity, again, to have the person look exactly where you want them to look on your photograph. So again, there's things you can take advantage of. If you haven't seen the free lessons, take advantage of number 3. It's How Light Works, and over on 5pencilmethod.com. And I really appreciate that you're involved over here on the community. And the 5-Pencil Method community is a great place for you to post your work and your exercises. And let me go ahead and just one last thing. Let me show you the before and after. And let's click into that. Let me see if I can get my cursor to get over here. Oh, let's see. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you what I did and what it was before. So you can see how much control you have to bring attention to what you want. And now some of the things that should be lighter you may have that opportunity to do. And the sparkle is now more effective, and all those different things. So this isn't perfect. It's just a very rough idea, but I think it will help point out a few of the things that you can go ahead and address. So again, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing your finished picture.